side who's participating.
Gotcha.
If I'm going to add on the chat, okay?
And
by the way, there's a little thing there.
By the way, I just started recording. So I just started recording. Right. So you're going to give a little tutorial on how to use this thing. So I thought, well, we might as well start the recording.
Okay. So if we start way on the left, you can mute yourself where the little microphone is. Then there's the stop video. If I do that, then it just shows me and my lovely horse, Flora. Okay. So you guys see that? Yeah. So if you
need a personal moment,
if you need which some people last night needed personal moments they weren't taking. But anyway, Elizabeth was eating through the whole thing. Like, oh my God, that was crazy. So then if you click back, and I should be back. So yeah, Elizabeth was literally like, doing the whole thing last night, which was funny. Anyway, okay. So then on the side,
someone was making dinner, and then yes. She ended up showing her glass of wine, and everybody else brought out their glass of wine. They're like, yeah, I've got mine too.
Yeah. Matcha tea. I'm having matcha tea tonight. So water. So okay. And so I'm going to turn the chat on. And so John is going to actually mute us all when he starts doing his thing. But then if you want to ask a question, do you see the little thing that says raise hand? And then your little hand comes up. Do you see that where I raised my hand on the side on the chat? Do you guys see that?
No.
Do you? Nope. Okay, so on the bottom, go back on the bottom and it says chat. Yeah. Click on the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now does it show Zoom group chat on the side?
Yeah.
Okay, got it? Okay, all right. So then if you want to ask a question, just click that and you'll get that. Why don't you each try it? Just each try it. Click the raise my hand.
Well, mine doesn't say
there. Okay.
Mine doesn't say
hands up.
It doesn't say raise my hand.
What does it say?
Wait a minute. I clicked on it and blanked everybody out. It only says, let's see. No, it's weird.
Mine says mute me. Mine says mute me and then raise my hand.
No. Mine just gives me a white screen. It says to everyone and it says type a message.
You don't have Zoom group chat and participants up at the top? Oh, click participants. Did you click participants? Go back down on the bottom and click participants 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, did we come up on the side with the blue hand?
Yep, raise hand.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Okay, lower hand. Okay, cool. So we just thought that way, rather than us all trying to talk at once or whatever, that would be easier. What's everybody else in our group? This is kind of crazy. I don't know, but I guess everybody's watching the replays.
Last week we were there were a bunch of people that responded, so maybe they're coming in a little late. But last week where it was just TJ and I were like, wow, where did everybody go?
Yeah, what happened last week? I couldn't get on.
Yeah, I found out that Webinar Jam had an issue where their emails were getting banned, and they didn't tell us. So maybe they did, but we didn't get the email.
Well, that's nice.
So yeah, everybody. So the next day, I'm like, we never got the reminders. We couldn't get on. Like, I'm like, okay, well, watch the replay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we decided, well, we might as well try this Zoom platform because it has a lot of benefits to it. The one nice thing about Webinar Jam that I liked so much was the ability to fire off the videos and the ability to record it. But Zoom, I did recording last night. It worked out fine. And so tonight we're going to try to, I'm going to try to basically take over the screen and do the videos and see how it goes. So it is a little bit different, but I think that I should be able to get. We should be able to use my screen and see all this stuff. So now, if we're in the video, if you want to raise your hand like Sherry's doing, Sherry's hand's up. Just raise your hand if you want to ask.
Which means.
And then we can either stop the video or we can just do it afterwards. So
we can wait.
Okay, can I speak? Can I speak? Okay, the other thing I wanted to point out is up at the top right part of your screen, it says speaker view or gallery view. Okay, and so why don't you guys click on that and see the difference of which you like better?
Well, mine says full screen or gallery view.
Yeah.
Okay, so click on gallery view.
Click on gallery.
Okay. Yeah, it gives.
Okay, see the difference?
Yeah.
When we go into the video,
it can either be that we're all up there. It can either be that we're all up there or that the person who's speaking comes on big and then the other ones are up at the. Yesterday, when we had so many people, it was kind of blah, blah, blah. So it's up to you which way you want to view it.
Well, when John's running a video, though, we should put it on the full screen so that just his video plays.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be tiny.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Just wanted to point that out.
Well, we might as well get started now. And Sherry, you did a nice job giving everybody a Zoom tutorial. And hey, we can actually put that on.
And this is all Oliver's artwork behind me.
I know.
Oliver's artwork behind me.
That's great.
And
I put those up to create my vision board, and he just filled it with his art. So I was like, okay, that's what it was for.
There you go.
And behind me, I have peace.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
I said behind me.
That's what that symbol is, right?
Peace, love, and prosperity in Chinese.
I have one on. I don't know what it means.
So we got that going for us.
There's one.
What's yours?
I don't know. I don't know which symbol that is. It's a Chinese symbol.
Oh, that's cool, though.
It kind of looks like, yeah. I don't know Chinese. You can Google it though.
Yeah. Maybe I'll match it up to what's behind you. Let's see.
Yeah. So to start off with, what I thought we'd do is and I am gonna go. Do I go to the full screen? I'm gonna go to the screen sharing. Let's see. And all right. And I'm just gonna go right into the portal, and then I know you guys have been in the portal, but all right. Can you see everything now? Can you see my? Yes. All right. Yep. So I was on the email that you should be getting.
Wow.
And let's see.
Oh, it says up at the top, you are viewing John Golitz's screen. View your options. What are my options? Hide video panel, request remote control, and annotate. Side-by-side mode.
All right, usually I don't come in on this, but...
I don't know what happened, but I see your email folder.
You see my email folder?
Yeah, he's showing us his screen.
Okay.
You see me logged in now?
Yeah, it says recording too.
All right, and so now you should be seeing me and the portal.
Yes.
And this should look familiar because you guys
John,
are doing a really good job. Yes, honey. Go ahead.
So if you go up to the top of the screen, it should say you are viewing John Golitz's screen, view options. And like I did mine side-by-side mode, and I like that. So you guys can see if you like a different option up there. Do you guys see that?
I don't have that.
Got it.
At the top?
Nope.
Got it.
Okay.
View options. Okay.
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 Oh, and it looks like Deb is on. Hi, Deb.
Hi.
Hi, Deb.
Are you not showing? Aren't you showing yourself to us?
I don't know why it's not doing that.
You got to click the in the lower
Okay.
left-hand corner. Click the little video. And
Mine is showing
You
all of
see it,
you
Deb?
guys. No. I've done Zoom before, but
Okay. Okay, Deb, take your mouse down to the bottom, and then you're going to get a strip that's going to say mute video.
Okay.
You see that?
Yep.
There
Okay,
we go.
click on the one that says video. There
I
you
got
go.
I got
Okay.
it. I'm here.
Hey,
all right, Deb. Hey, all right. So here we are in the portal, and this should look familiar because I believe all you guys are going through this. At the bottom, you can see there's a little progress bar, and you guys are progressing along very nicely. And every time you look at one of these resources, the progress bar goes, far more and more completed. So this right now we're on the
John?
home. Yeah. Speak.
I'm still at your email page.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Too.
You are.
Yeah, not at the portal.
It shows the login to get in the portal on your page, but it's your email. It's all of your mail.
All right. Thanks for telling me that.
I'm glad I'm not the only one seeing this.
Yeah. I
How
can
about
get
now?
confused by myself.
There you go. That's it. Good.
There you are, honey. Good.
Wow. So you actually have to click over onto the different views. I'm going to screen. All right. So this is a learning experience. This is good. Learning the technology. All right. So here we are. This is the home page. And so since we really haven't all kind of come together, and I was hoping there's going to be more, but I thought we'd just do a little bit of review and to see where we've been, or hopefully where we've been, and then I can kind of go through what we're going to do in the future. And you're going to see this is one of the weeks where things really start to come together. And we've been kind of looking at pieces. So the first week, and really we have two very separate, very different tracks that we're taking. One of them is the building the customer relationship manager, and that's the real technical side of things. And then the other one is creating your client conversation, and that is really your marketing message. And the two, couldn't be any different as far as which side of your brain you're using. Using your client conversation is really all marketing, where the other one is really all technical, especially at this point. They do come together at the end, but for right now, we're kind of working on little pieces that will all join together into a nice system when we get to the end. So that's why I've split it apart on the side. We have the weeks, but then I really put it into modules. So I'm going to click on the client conversation module right now and kind of go through that. So the first part we did was really step one, creating your vision for your ideal client or your client persona. And in the intro, we really talked about what your why is for this course and what your why is for the business.
Oh, feedback.
What the heck is that? I think that, Sherry, was that like one of the dogs? I think we had.
No, that was at my house. Sorry.
Ah.
I had, it was at my house.
I thought Susie was there chewing on something. But anyway,
And we have you guys all open mic right now. I haven't muted you all. So if you do need to be mute yourself, go ahead. But so anyway, so what we first started out with is what's your why and what your intention is. So now this is really focused on you. And then we looked at your client and what you wanted your ideal client to look like. So, and this week, we're going to really look at how you and your client come together and how your intentions and your clients harmonize together, but also in the context of the whole market. So we're going to look at your competition and how you fit in with the market. And there's a lot of good reasons. There's a lot of good things come out of this. And this step is really, it's almost more like management consulting rather than marketing, because it's very analytical. But the marketing part of it that comes out of this is that you're going to see things that are working for your competition or they're not working, and you can learn a lot of really good lessons from that. So the things that we did when our initial thing of creating our why, that was really good because it kind of sets your intention and it gets your basic idea of what you want to accomplish. And then with your client, you know, you're looking at what are their core goals and what are their core issues or pain or challenges, and then seeing how those two come together. Hopefully they should come together, and your goals should help your client overcome their main pain. Now, when we go and start looking at your competition and see how they do it, we're going to try to see what good things that we can learn from them, and then either just, you know, completely do the same thing or tweak it a little bit, or make it what is really the best thing to do is find out what they're doing that's really working, and then use your own unique capabilities to make it a little bit different and more yourself. So then that then harmonizes with your clients and their needs. So this is really kind of like a a management consulting thing. So, and then after that, we use the different pieces of that, your intention, your client's pain, and what your competition is all doing, and we put it all together into your story, and put your own unique spin on it so that you can tell your story in the context of your market. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to find out what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and then out of those weaknesses, are there any of those weaknesses that you can kind of turn around, reposition, and so that they can actually turn into strengths. So and then the final step of that is going to be putting that all together in a 4-part email series called your Welcome Series. And we have a whole format on that. But what you're doing as you go through these steps is that you're looking for little pieces of the puzzle, little breadcrumbs that will help guide you along the way to creating your story and your emails. And those breadcrumbs are like little things that clients will say on why they like doing business with you. They'll things that they say, phrases, words, or whole sentences or concepts where they say really what is important to them. What is it that they are really resonating on? Like last week we talked about TJ's modality of I always forget the name of it, transcranial, help me out, TJ. What is it again?
Craniosacral therapy.
And visceral
manipulation and lymphatic drainage.
There you go. And so those are what you do, but what they really are for was like relieving migraine and really relieving pain. So what we were looking for, the little breadcrumbs that we're looking for, are when your clients tell you, oh gosh, when you do this, it really helps me because of that. Now, those are the things that you really want to be writing down. And if you see those things that you're getting from your competition, and really we can talk a little bit about that. There really is no competition when you really get down to it, because you're your unique person and you have your own unique energy that is attracting your own unique ideal clients, and that's going to be completely different than any other competition, no matter how similar they may be in their offering. So really, in reality, there really, especially when you're talking about practitioners, there really is not competition. But there are people that are doing things that are very similar to you. And the quickest way for you to find out what's working is look at what they're doing. And in these days of websites, social media, you can really, I'm going to give you some tools at the end that will show you really great ways that you can find out where their traffic is coming from on their website, what posts and what content they're posting, and what content and keywords they're using that are being successful and that are driving their business. So all you have to do really is just take what is working and use that. And I've looked at a lot of you guys' websites and Facebook pages, and I think it's safe to say that everybody is struggling to find real content that truly resonates with their customer. When you're doing Facebook posts, what are you posting? If the first step that we're going to go through is really looking at your stuff, the marketing that you're doing, your website, your Facebook page, any other marketing that you're doing from your client's perspective. So what this will do is it will really help get you into their shoes and see what they're seeing, and then try to be objective or subjective, subjective. But anyway, really try to look at it from their perspective and say, what is the message that I just got out of all this marketing? And then we're going to do the same for your competition and say, what are the messages that these folks are delivering? And then at the end of that, we're going to look at it and go, okay, what is working? What is not? What is it that we want to copy? And how do we want to change it so that it really more accurately reflects my message and my unique solution? So this is such a powerful, this one thing can really just completely change your business, because what it will do is it will give you a source of content and a deep understanding of where you are in the market. And then once you understand what your strengths and weaknesses are, then you really just talk about what your strengths are and overcome your weaknesses. And this is the basis of your whole client conversation. So this is where we're really bringing together your intentions, your client's pain, and what your competition is doing into one, big basket. And then in the next 2 weeks after this, then we're going to be kind of separating all that stuff out and seeing what we want and what we don't, and then putting it together in the final step as one really great story. So that's the big overview of this, and in the client conversation. So that in a nutshell is what creating your client conversation is all about. So do you guys have anything you want to add or questions you want to ask right now? Nope. You still with me?
Yes.
Did I totally lose you?
Nope, we're still breathing.
That's good. So then the next module is the client relationship manager. And this is the technical aspects of that. And so, this isn't nearly as exciting, but it's equally as important. the first week we did was we set up your Gmail, and I think all of you guys have set that up. I know Deb has sent me your email, and TJ and Renee, you guys have all sent me your emails.
Yeah.
So that's good. So you got your Gmail set up. Now there is a break-in period that Gmail kind of throttles you back on. This account is really going to be made for people that are coming into your requesting information and coming onto your list. So it's this email account is not really going to be made for ultimately being a mass email capability, but you do want to start sending emails out of that, and that's going to help break in the Google account, and it will ultimately help you drive the number of emails that you can send at one time up. I'm not sure, why they do this, but brand new email accounts always have a limit on how many emails you can send at one time and in one day. As you get more and more experience and no complaints, then that grows. So start sending some emails out of there, even if they're just to friends or whatever, just general things, but start using that account. So then the next week we went on to setting up your Google Drive, opening up your Google Drive and setting up your Google Sheets. Did you guys all have a chance to do that?
No.
No? Okay, so that's the next step. It's really an easy step. All you have to do is just go on to Google Drive and just go through the tutorial there. It's very easy. But basically what you're going to be doing is setting up your first Google Sheet. And this is where all of your client and prospects contact information is going to go. And it's the basis for the list that you'll be sending emails from. So when a prospect clicks on the link that we're going to be setting up on your website and on your Facebook page and say, hey, I would like more information, that name through automation is going to end up on this spreadsheet. As soon as it lands on this spreadsheet, it's going to trigger an automation that is going to send out 4 emails, one at a time. Okay, so we'll send one out, it'll wait 2 days, it'll send the next one out, wait 2 days to send the next one out. So you can do it up to 8 times, but we're going to set up 4 emails. That's called your welcome series. So all this will be automatic. And there is significant advantage in having an automatic responder. One of the biggest advantages is that there is, in fact, I got this the paper here. Yeah, there's a Harvard Business Review study for best practices on lead response management that shows the response time as so when someone is interested in your stuff and they go on and they go, oh, this looks really interesting, I'd like to get some more information. They send you a request. Within the first 15 minutes, their interest is really piqued. As that time goes by, their interest drops like Roxanne is not being able to get on. So as their time goes by, the interest drops like a rock. So within I don't want to give you the wrong statistics, but within the first hour, it drops by like 10 times the response. So within the first 4 hours, you're down to like a 10% chance of responding to them, versus within the first 15 minutes, you're at like a 90% chance. So really, just within a very short period of time, their interest drops like a rock. And the reason for that is that people are just really wanting this immediate gratification. And so what they do is they start looking for somebody else. And they usually end up like 69% of the people say that they make buying decisions based on the information that they receive in their initial inquiries. So if you're not there in getting this information back to them that satisfies them, they go on to the next one. And in Google, that's really easy. You just go down the list. Or in Facebook, you just go to the next one. And so what happens is they'll click on this and then they will immediately get an automatic response. It's not waiting for you to go and send that email out. That gets your message in their inbox right away and gets that conversation going. So you stay in the lead position and you stay in control of that conversation. That dramatically increases your chances of turning them into a client by really like 10 times just by having that unique capability. So this is what we're trying to accomplish in creating up your list and your CRM. So TJ, you want to watch that one, and then this is what we're going to go over today: how to import your contacts from your iPhone, from your Outlook, from your Google contacts, and from LinkedIn. And of course, if you've got, them written on your napkin or on your refrigerator or, on spare pieces of paper all around the office, you want to get those in manually. But I think just about everybody has iPhones. And I found a great app that will automatically, will go through the thing, and in about 5 minutes, you will have all your contacts onto your Google Sheets. And this is one awesome way to back up all your contacts. So, I mean, how many of you guys have lost contacts because your phone crashed? I mean, TJ, you just going through this thing right now. If you had everything backed up into your Google Drive, you would still would have had access to everything. You could reinstall everything within just really a matter of minutes. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking all your contacts from all the different areas and bringing them all onto your Google Sheets. And then we're going to be giving you access to all that information on your phone, your laptop, your desktop, all through the Google Drive. And when we get it all set up, you're going to say, makes business so much easier. So that's the overview of what we're going to be doing. Any questions?
John?
I see a hand up.
Hello.
2 hands.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want me to try and communicate with Roxanne, like forward her my email or something? Or
yeah, I'm not sure. I got to get out of the exit full. I'm not sure because I don't have access to my email unless I go to my phone. Why don't I start? Let me just start the first video, and then I'll go and deal with Roxanne.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yep.
Do you guys have any questions before we start?
Wait, did anybody else have a question? Yeah.
I do. When you say download all your contacts off your phone, is that like everything on your phone? Because I got a lot of numbers on there that have nothing to do with my business. Will everything go onto your Google Drive, or do you want everything on there?
Well, this is my strategy, is to first get everything on there.
Okay, and then I can delete them.
I wouldn't delete them. What I would do is I'd make separate lists.
I gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Because what you're going to want to do is you're going to have a list for prospects, and you're going to see as we get the GMass set up, which is the mass mailing and automated mailing for Gmail, is that it will ask you which spreadsheet and which sheet within the spreadsheet you want to send to.
Okay.
Okay. So my thought is, and what has worked best for me, is that I get everybody on a master sheet and I tag them so that I say, okay, these folks are clients, these are prospects, these are friends, these are people I never want to talk to again. But you don't delete them.
You never know. Don't burn the bridges.
But there's a better reason than that. And then people will unsubscribe. But
Right.
what happens is like if you're still accumulating, let's just say, you know, on your phone, half the people you really do not ever want to talk to again. Okay, they were, you know, whatever. If you go and reload your phone again, and so let's say you just delete them all, and then you reload your phone, they're still there. Okay, but if you put them in a separate list, now you know these are the people that I don't want to talk to, or these are the very, very important people that I do want to talk to. Okay, so you segregate your list, and you keep, and your unsubscribes. I learned this the hard way. Your unsubscribes will stay unsubscribed. They won't like come back into your life, and then, oh wait a minute, now they're back in there again. How did they get back in there? So yeah, you do want to keep the unsubscribes. You want to keep the people that are not contact, and segregate them. So as you're bringing them on, it's a good thing. Like if you know, for example, if you think your phone has mostly personal, I would just bring them on, and when they hit your list, make all of them as a source your phone.
Okay.
And then if you have, like I have several different Gmail contacts, and for different purposes. Okay, so like one of them is just personal, and it's like junk mail thing. But Gmail has this capability that they record all the email addresses as they come into your inbox, and that's a good thing. Okay, so what you want to do is you know, just sort them. So that would be like my personal Gmail. I would sort all those people and you know, segregate them off. So that's what you want to be doing, is as you're pulling them in, tag them as a source, and then I would really, because you have to look at this thing as really, this is like your first opportunity to get everybody all together in one place. It's like you're having a great big party, you know, and like inviting every single person you ever know or ever met or ever corresponded with. And you want to kind of go through that party and go, okay, hey, I want you to come on into this room over here. You know, this room, okay, this room, this is the door. You can go out the door, you know, but, you know, thanks for coming, but see you later. And then, you know, this one, you know, okay, this is where everyone goes into the kitchen. You guys are the kitchen group, you know, and then, so go through it and segregate your list.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did you like that, honey?
I liked it, honey.
The kitchen group, the wine group.
Yeah, this is the wine group. This is the loud group that's in the sunroom, yelling and screaming at the TV.
And I did that when I invited everybody to a party one time, and I don't need to get into the details of how that all went.
Wow. I want to be in the wine group.
Me too.
I'm in the quiet group in the bedroom, you know, like I'm just.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, John.
You know what?
Reading.
Oh, yeah.
No, he means when the party has gone on too long, he slips away to the bedroom with his Louis L'Amour novel, and
well, that's only because my family is one of the loudest families on the planet. And when it's aided by a little alcohol, Sherry, my son, her mom, they are like so loud, and then turn the TV up because they can't hear the TV, and then it just gets out of hand. So
they make headphones for that, John.
I actually have little stuff.
My grandson has some.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It doesn't help. Believe me, it doesn't help. Distant.
Well, you got to mention my mom is hard of hearing. My mom is hard of hearing. So she ends up yelling. So then we all end up yelling.
So anyway, way too much personal information there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video on really, this is really about finding your competition and understanding your strengths and weaknesses. Let's see. All right. I hope I can do this right. If not, just yell. Welcome to Online Marketing 101. Can you hear this?
We can hear it, but I see your, all I see is your, oh wait, here it comes. Okay.
I'm back on now. I'm so excited to bring you this step because it can be so powerful for your practice.
It's really quiet.
Really low. Can you up the volume? I'll up my volume.
But if you get this right, it can make such a difference in your practice. I know it has for us.
Yeah, if I up the computer, my computer's volume all the way too.
Law of attraction.
Still a little low, but.
If you're not familiar with it, it's a spiritual law. I'm maxed out.
Oh yeah.
No, that's good.
Do you want me to start over?
Please.
Where the law of attraction.
Yeah, start over, honey. Start over.
Is in the All right, here we go.
Okay.
The Online Marketing 101. And welcome back to step 3 in creating your client conversation. I'm so excited to bring you this step because it can be so powerful for your practice. It's a little bit management consulting and marketing, all powered by the law of attraction. But if you get this right, it can make such a difference in your practice. I know it has for us. So one of the core beliefs Sherry and I have is in the law of attraction. If you're not familiar with it, it's a spiritual law that works on the energetic level and is based on the concept that like attracts like. Where the law of attraction is so helpful in business is in the understanding of this concept and talking only about what you want. Probably the biggest key to my success in sales and marketing has been this one main point. During the marketing and sales process, I only want to talk about what I want and what I want the client to know about my solution for his pain. So how do you know what to talk about? Well, in the introduction, we raised the question about your intention or your why for being in business. Understanding your motivations and intentions will help you be clear about what you're offering and is an important first step to determining if you and your client are in harmony. If your client relationship is not in harmony, you will have limited appeal with your client and will have a hard time differentiating yourself from your competition. In step 1, we change the focus to your client to visualize who you consider to be your ideal client by creating a client persona. And in step 2, we defined what's important to your client and what are their core issues or challenges. These 2 steps, which you hopefully have completed, will help you visualize your ideal client and understand what's important.
Did anybody else see that it stopped?
Yeah, I can't hear it either. I just sent a message to everybody, no sound.
Yeah, I said to John, as soon as he muted it, the video stopped. Oh,
Solutions to their
there we go.
There we go.
modalities. For example, last week we talked about the differences between marketing craniosacral therapy and visceral manipulation versus relief brain conversation. In comparing how your intentions
I'll just take it back a little bit.
Issues or needs, you will begin to see how the law of attraction basic concept of like can work to help you attract more clients. The closer your it's really well on the energetic level. It's also really sound marketing because clients respond really well when you identify their core need or pain and can talk about how your service has a unique solution. The sooner we can talk about the solution, especially if it's a unique solution, the better chance we have of having our marketing message resonate with our client and forming a relationship in a much deeper and more meaningful way. While it's common in marketing for businesses to talk about their modality and specifications and features, clients really buy solutions to their needs, not modalities. For example, last week we talked about the differences between marketing craniosacral therapy and visceral manipulation versus relieving migraines. If your client's conversation is all about your modality and appealing to the client's logic, you will never be able to convert a high degree of clients and differentiate yourself from your competition. This approach of selling your modality generally leads to discounting and other high-pressure tactics to close the buying process because you have little to differentiate yourself from the others. Here's another good example I just found of an ad for knee pain. The product's name is Arthrozine. Who would have ever thought of searching on that? But if you search on how to lubricate stiff joints or quick pain relief without dangerous drugs or risky surgery, I think you'll probably be able to find it. I actually just found this ad and thought it was a great example of marketing the benefits, not the modality. And I still don't know how they lubricate stiff joints and get quick pain relief. But by adding that without dangerous drugs or risky surgery, they are appealing to your emotions, namely fear. So they're giving you the unique benefit, which is lubricate stiff joints, for the core issue, which is pain relief, and then reinforcing the message with emotions, fear. So you can see how there's a much better way to convert a higher percentage of clients that starts at the emotional level. If you're able to establish rapport with your client at an emotional level and reinforce the sale on a logical level, you have a winning combination that's really hard to beat. Talking about your service will not bring you any closer to an emotional connection, and chances are good that your prospective client will consider your service as being all the same as all the others. If your current marketing message is talking all about your service or modality, this will be a big shift for you and maybe a hard concept to grasp. I've known many practitioners that go right into talking about their modality as soon as they're in a selling situation, without understanding anything about their client's needs. But once you change your marketing message to talk about how your unique solution solves their core issue or pain, a whole new gold mine will open up to you. So how do you do this? In this step, you'll find out how your solution compares to your competition and how you fit in the overall market. Once you understand your positionings, you can create a conversation that positions you as an authority by talking about your unique solution, hopefully in a way that your client has not thought of before, and in a different way than your competition. Once you know how you compare with your competition from your client's viewpoint, you'll know how to steer the conversation in a way that brings out your strengths and overcomes your weaknesses in a way that's not high pressure or salesy. The only way you can do this effectively is if you see it the way your client would as they go through the buying process. In this process, I'm going to show you. We're going to do this fun exercise by first understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are, and then do the same for your competition. For those of you that have never done this before, this may be a real wake-up call as you see yourselves from the client's viewpoint. This one step has totally transformed some businesses. I know for me, it's the cornerstone of my success. How do you find out what your strengths and weaknesses are? I found the best way is to act like your client and experience the buying process like they do. So get out your phones and Google it. So where do you start? Here's the action step. This segment is all about action. To help you start, I've created a worksheet that you can download. You can use my Excel spreadsheet and then convert it into a Google Sheet. And I've got a tutorial on how to do this in the portal. This action step will be the foundation for many other steps in the process, so don't shortcut it. In your worksheet, first you'll want to copy and paste your website URL, your Facebook page URL, and any other social media site or sites you advertise on, or you use in your marketing. Then you'll want to go to all the different ads and review all the content you are distributing. What is the message you are offering to your prospective clients? Is this messaging targeted to specific needs or target markets, or is it a generic message for everyone? Write down what the main selling points are and any specific information as you would if you were becoming a client. Notice any holes or lack of information or not being able to find your service. An important point to remember is to write down the impressions you get from your own marketing, not what you already think about your service. Try to suspend your own preconceived ideas about your modality, service, and your practice until you see it from your client's perspective. When you're done going through all your online marketing message, take a moment and write down the main selling points you got out of your marketing. If you did not know you, what would you be thinking about your service? And write that down. Then you're going to do the same for your competition. Make sure you record all your competition's website URLs, Facebook page URLs, and any other social media sites you can find your competition using that looks like it's being successful, and then record it in your spreadsheet. Start with the competition you already know about from your experience. Then go back to your list of client personas' main pain points you hopefully completed in the last step. Use these pain points to Google search for new and alternative competition, just like a prospective client would. So in our example, you would search for cranial therapy and visceral manipulation, and then you would also start searching for things like relieving migraines and relieving migraines without drugs, or different ways you'd search for the solution of migraine relief. Once you've researched all the main and alternative solutions and competition for your competitor's service, go to all their marketing platforms, their websites, Facebook pages, and any other social media accounts they're using that look successful. Make sure you record all the links to their pages on the worksheet, as you'll be using that a little later. Make sure you check out their Facebook pages and go all the way down the Facebook page, as this is a really good way to see if marketing pieces are successful and just see what they've been using. And if they've been using it for a while and have a lot of likes, comments, or engagements, it probably means it's pretty good. If it has, it means that this is resonating with their client base and probably will be for you too. Think about how you can use the same angle. You'll want to copy and paste anything that they're using that you may want to model. You'll also may want to record any marketing that's not working so you don't make the same mistake. And one of the fastest and most successful ways you can attract more clients is to reverse engineer a competitive campaign that's already working. Many times I find that after completely understanding someone else's successful campaign, I can find a way to tweak it, and that'll make it even better. Some of the best tools to dissect the competition's website are SimilarWeb.com and BuzzSumo.com. You will really want to check out these tools because it will show you all kinds of intelligence on your competition's websites. Down below this video, there's a tutorial video on how to use SimilarWeb and BuzzSumo. They're amazing tools if you're in a very competitive market and really want to get deeper into this process of investigating your competition. This is where you'll want to cut and paste all the URLs you found and get a much better idea of where their traffic is coming from and what their traffic is. So if it's working for them, it may work for you too. While you're experiencing your competition's buying experience, you'll also want to sign up for any and all newsletters, email offers, promotions, as this will tell you what your competition is doing after you sign up that you may be missing from just visiting their website. It will also tip you off to any specials, promotions, or sales they may be running that you should consider when making your own offer. Once you have a full understanding of the marketing intelligence that your niche is doing, compare your product offering to theirs from your client's perspective. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Write them down on your worksheet. Based on this market intelligence, can you reposition your weaknesses and alter the conversation to give you any advantage? After reflecting on your weaknesses, do you see any that can be changed into strengths by changing your perspective or the perspective of your client? Another way to overcome an objection is to change perspective and teach for differentiation, so they think about the objection in a way they've not thought of before. Offering insight about the client's pain that adds value and gets your client to think about his challenges in a new and different light can be one of the most powerful sales strategies of them all. Once you've identified your weaknesses and compare your offering to your competition, I want you to write down the best wording on how you overcome those weaknesses and any common objections you encounter in your sales process. This is so important if your service or modality has some basic objections that commonly need to be overcome before they'll move forward with the sale. This process will allow you to standardize on the most effective, and later will show you how you can test different responses and optimize your results. So the quicker and better you can bring those objections out and overcome those objections or reposition them as advantages, the quicker the client will flow into the buying mode. This is why we'll be using this when we are crafting your welcome series emails. And once you understand you and your competition's strengths and weaknesses and how you're positioned in the market, you'll be better able to create your client conversation that talks about what you want and leads your client through the sales cycle to a happy close. Well, that's what I've got for you today. This is a big one, so start right away and have fun with it. Our next video is a great one, as you're going to take what you've learned in this step and use it to find your authentic voice to tell your story in a new and powerful way. So don't delay, start on this right away. And thanks a lot for watching.
All right, what did you guys, well, let's see, let me unmute you guys all. So what did you guys think of that?
I think it's good to examine ourselves and strengths and weaknesses and compare it to what other people are doing. I mean, comparison and looking at it's always the best way to come up with the most efficient and powerful message to get out there.
Yeah, and like for PMF, Renee, I can talk about that because it's something that I know really well. You have competition, but someone that is in California is not your competition.
Right.
But they may be experiencing a tremendous success saying things a certain way, or reaching a market a certain way, or doing a certain, marketing activity that is really reaching out, So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we really brought everybody together in a community so people could share those things. If you go on to like our Facebook page and everything, we offered everybody to use the same, you just take our posts that you see are getting lots of likes and use it in yours. TJ, you have the same thing. There's tons and tons of people that are doing the same exact modality. So find out who are the people that are doing the best and copy what they have. You can and there's two ways to do that. Actually, there's three. You can actually just share their posts on your page, so you're giving them credit for it, or you can take the content that they have and you can take that content and share just that content. So you take the picture, or you take the video, or you take the blog or whatever, and you just share that on your post. Or you can take the picture and make it a little bit different, but more in line with what they're doing. Or you can take their content and make it a little bit different. That's what BuzzSumo is all about.
BuzzSumo is a tool where you can put in the keywords that your competition are using to drive traffic and to get interest. And you can see the list of all the different contents, all the different blog posts and content that has been shared, and it shows you which has been shared the most, which is therefore the most popular. So you can open up those articles, read those articles, and you can say, okay, here's the topic that these people are talking about. You can either share it on your post and just use the exact same one, or you can rewrite that article from maybe your point of view, or a review of that. Or you can offer a little bit different perspective on that. Or you can take something that is using a different modality, but has a very valid point on that you can adapt to your modality. So what you can see is that what you're doing is you're taking the stuff that is already popular and you're using it on your specific niche. And this is by far the easiest way for you to generate really powerful content. And this is what you should be loading up your Facebook page with. And this is how you can be getting marketing information that you know is already working. Okay, as opposed to kind of searching around trying to find stuff that's already working, you know. Oh, I wonder if this is going to work. I wonder if that's going to work. Well, BuzzSumo will show you the content. Similarly, will actually show you in a much more technical way. You put in the website of your competition. Honey, Nitra.
I'm sorry, mute me.
So you put in the website of your competition into SimilarWeb, and it's going to show you where they're getting all their traffic, what their main keywords are. You can basically then take what's working for them, use it in your stuff, and make sure you don't make the same mistakes on stuff that's not working. So these are really, really powerful tools and in a way to help you shape your marketing message. And the spreadsheet that I gave you, which is in the portal, it's just one way that you need to have a common area where you're copying and pasting all these ideas and URLs into, so that you don't ever have to go back over this again. And then if you want to go back and you're like, God, what was that one thing that I really loved the way that Bob Jones said this about my modality. You just go back to the spreadsheet, click on the link. There comes his website. There you go. You're looking right at it again. So, you're not, reinventing the wheel and recreating things. You're a real systemized approach to it. And as you go through it, you are going to learn so much more about your message and where you are in the market. Sherry, do you have a question? You're muted. You're muted.
She can't hear you. Oh, she can hear you. You can't hear her.
Okay, I think I unmuted.
Am I unmuted now?
Now you're unmuted.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, taking that spreadsheet idea to another level is something that I did that I found really helpful, and you can do it on the spreadsheet or just a Word document. And that was when we would get good testimonials and reviews, or I would see, like for us, because we were supporting all these practitioners, and I would see they would get good testimonies or reviews. I would literally just copy them and start creating them into a Word document. And so, or like really great success stories. I had a Word document of success stories. I had a Word document of my most commonly used verbiage. Like we came up with our 4 main points that PMF were for. And we're using PMF because that's what we know, but it can apply to anything. And it was perform better, recover faster, relieve, heal faster. So we ended up targeting those as the absolute, like if we, of course, like your different modalities can do so many different things. Just through our talking to people, we ended up coming up with, you know what, those are the most important things to people. Those, like if you're working with migraines or whatever, but anyway, we came up with those were the most important things. But so I'm just sharing this with you because this really made it so much easier that I would want to do a post, or I would need inspiration on doing a post, or a blog, or some updating something in our website. I would literally go to these Word documents and I could just copy and paste, or be like, oh God, yeah, look at that. My God, I haven't shared that in a while,
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to share one of, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to talk over you, but I want to reinforce that. The thing you really want to be doing in your marketing is you want to be consistent. And what you want to do is you want to find out what phrases really work, and then you want to say them over and over and over again. And if you want to test it and say, well, what if something else says a little better? This is like the basic thing about A/B testing or split testing, is that you want to change things in very small increments, really even just one word at a time. So you develop a baseline. So let's say you come up with your 3 main benefits, and you come up with, this is the best way that I can say these three main benefits. Yeah, Sherry's absolutely right. You want to have a document where you have that wording available to you, and you cut and paste those all the time. You use those same ones. Now, what if you want to try and say something a little bit differently? So what you would do is that you would try, so let's say you come up with a 4th benefit that you really want to try. So now you would substitute one of the benefits and keep the other 2, and see if you get an incremental improvement. If you don't, you go back. If you do, then you keep that new version and you just make very small incremental changes. You don't make wholesale changes, because then you never know if what worked. So you just got to keep making very small changes. Go ahead.
Or sometimes it's not the wording, sometimes it's trying a different photograph. And we're going to talk more about the whole photograph thing down the line, and how having what makes a great photograph, what makes something that tends to appeal to people, tends to stand out. But the other thing I wanted to mention before I forget is I also keep a note of that information. Now, we've got this amazing Google system that I didn't have before, so you can have that Google Drive right on your phone, so you can have a Google document. But I just had a note. To this day, I do, like for our business, I have a note on my phone. And I have a note on my phone, DPA marketing. And when I'm out, looking at things and online or whatever, and I see an article, or I notice the way someone has written something that is like, wow, that was just a really great way to say that. I'll just copy it and paste it into my note. And then again, when I'm looking for inspiration or ideas, I can just go to that note, So
and
it's just kind of these little tricks.
Yeah.
That's why the Google system, the Google Drive, works so much better, because you can get Google Drive. You absolutely should get Google Drive. That's the next segment that we're going to do today. But you can get Google Drive on your phone and get Google Sheets and Google Docs on your phone, and then you have one place. So that is a great recommendation, though, is that you keep one place that you keep these new ideas, and then when you're looking for inspiration, you go back to that one place, and then you keep track of how those things work, so that you're incrementally improving your message, not doing wholesale changes.
And then I just, this isn't an online thing, and I know we're doing online marketing, but I just wanted to share this because it came in the mail again today. So snail mail, this is snail mail, but obviously, okay, this is coming from local chiropractors here in our town, okay? And I'm sharing this because I see this thing and I'm like, oh, whatever. But we get this like every month. We get this. So I'm assuming this is working. Okay. Are these people, what do you keep doing this? Now, I'm not necessarily saying that you start sending out a shiny snail mail like this. You could. But what I am is there's something in this messaging, okay? Something in here that's working. And so when you guys are thinking in terms of marketing your business, just pay attention to stuff like this. Somebody's not going to keep sending this out if it's not getting results. So something about this is, and it might inspire you. If you're doing something that's relieving somebody's pain, you might want to pay attention to stuff like this. And everybody teases me because I've got like this weird little marketing gene that I've got my antennas out for marketing, and I'm looking at billboards and saying, oh my God, why would they do that? You can't even read that font. Like, what are they thinking with that picture and whatever? But you guys kind of have to have your little marketing antennas up all the time and look into other industries, look at other things that are working for people. And a lot of times what works is what resonates with people emotionally. So there's something about this, could knee pain, could this get rid of knee pain once and for all without drugs or surgery? So they're talking about, we are helping local residents with knee pain live a more active, pain-free life. See, they're pointing out the benefit here. So I don't mean to get off track, but I just wanted to share that because it came in the mail again today, and I thought sorry, honey, I didn't mean to digress.
No, it's not off track at all, because it's exactly what really you need to be doing. So there's lots of sources for inspiration and lots of sources for content. And so you can be looking at your competitor, but you can also be looking at things that are close to what you do, and that are really kind of appealing for the same pain, but that you can then adapt to what you do. Go ahead, Sherry.
So this is the first time I actually read this, because I don't have knee pain, but, I remember collecting these when we were doing our PMF therapy business and I was going to use it, but they do laser therapy. This is a whole thing for laser therapy. So for whatever you guys do, again, it's a non-invasive, drug-free, non-surgical solution. So I just wanted to point that out because you just said something similar. And I just read on the bottom, where did it say? Laser therapy. So.
Well, it's even,
Go ahead.
It's like even if you have pictures on your phone. A friend of mine came over and had pictures on her phone. She's a chiropractor. Showed me a picture of her granddaughter when she went to visit with a doll. The granddaughter is 15 months old. She was the way she was holding the neck of the doll, she was trying to adjust it. I said, you have got to put that on your business website. That's the kind of photo that people love that stuff. And she put it on.
Yeah.
And people on that.
So we're on the thing. So the topic of photos. So there's really, you can really boil your marketing down to some very core basic things. There is the picture. Okay. And we're talking about social media marketing, really print advertising. really any kind of marketing that you're going to be doing. You have a picture, and you have a headline, and then you have the body of the copy, the text. So your main message. And then you have the audience that it's going to. Those are the variables. And you want to just move those variables around until you find this magic combination. And the difference between the variables can vary dramatically. I'll just give you an example. Our Dream of a Career with Horses campaign, we tried all kinds of different pictures, all kinds of different headlines, all kinds of different texts. But we finally got a picture of Samantha with her looking right into her black stallion with wearing this yellow shirt and the loops over the horse's head. And that picture that Sherry snapped with an iPhone outproduced everything else by like 100 or 200%. And so when you find something that works, what you need to do, okay, so then that becomes your baseline, and then you start looking for other photos. And so the things that really resonate with people have completely changed in the last 5 years. Marketing has completely changed. And what is working right now is because people are used to seeing images and stuff from their phone. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to connect with real people, and that's why reality TV is so popular. They no longer want to see stock photos of beautiful people in fake settings. They want to see real people, the good, the bad, the ugly, real people, and shot with iPhones. I mean, you have the best chance of getting of a picture that really resonates by taking the picture yourself, of yourself, in a real situation that you're really doing. People want to see you. You do not want to use stock photos. You do not want to use photos of anything else except for you in bright colored shirts, in bright colored settings that are going to grab people's attention. And then you want to be able to tell your story, like on Facebook posts and on Facebook ads and on your website. You want to be able to tell your story in very real, authentic way. So you've got your picture, you've got your headline, and if you want to really start looking at headlines, I'm going to post this list of I think there's 1,000 headlines of great headlines. But start looking at the publications that are in your checkout counter at the grocery store. Go to magazines and start looking at all of the headlines that are on really popular magazines. You'll see that they're like lists, top 3 things that do this, how to do this without doing that. These are type of headlines that really, really work. And we'll get more into detail in this, but just to give you some basic understandings of how to go forward. This is what you're looking for. You're looking for pictures of you, real pictures of you doing what you're doing. You're looking for your authentic story. And when you're out looking at your competition, so you want to be looking at their picture, their headline, their text. And then when you go into similar web, you want to be looking at what is their audience, what keywords are they getting from. And as you go through this, as you do this investigative thing, and this, I'm telling you, this week's work can set you up for the rest of your career. It really, really can. It's that powerful. So you can find, this is all about really finding your niche, finding what works. And then narrowing, well, we're going to narrow that down into a very small amount of choices, and then just driving traffic to it. So what do you think, TJ?
Can I speak?
I think it's.
Go ahead, TJ, first.
I think it's really, really great, and I'm excited to implement all of this. It's a little overwhelming because there's so much new stuff for me, but it's okay. I'll tackle it. I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's stretching me, and that's good because I'm going to grow. I really feel like I'm going to grow through this course. The Facebook, how do you determine what's working for them as far as bringing people into them? Yeah.
Very good question. Look, it's really easy. Look at the likes and engagement that they get. If they're getting lots of likes, it's working. Okay. If they've been running it a long time and you see hundreds of likes, pay attention to that. If they have videos, pay attention to how many views they're getting. Okay, look at the stuff that's getting the most engagements. So likes, shares, and comments.
Okay, another question. How do you spell that? BuzzSumo.
It's on the video. I have a tutorial on exactly how to use BuzzSumo, but it's BuzzSumo.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's in the portal. It's already in the portal. There's a video on exactly how to use it and where to go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can I just ask a question? Okay. So, does everybody have their screen on the gallery view?
No.
Are you guys gallery view where you see all of us?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. See you all.
Yeah? Where you see the 5 of us? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Which screen stands out the most?
Yours.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys agree?
Yeah, because it's the most interesting.
Okay.
Gallery.
It's got color.
Okay. Color. Red and yellow.
Orange.
Okay. Really stand out. The orange. Look at those flowers behind me. Olive's beautiful artwork and our kids up there that we sponsor. So I just wanted to point that out because as we were talking about it, I just kind of realized I was looking at us all and it was like, wow, you know. So red and yellow. Go ahead, TJ.
I just wanted to make a comment. I have been working with a coach who is working based upon your colors for your energy, that you attract people based on your energetic coloring. So like for me, when I was younger, I was a summer, which are the light pastels. As I've aged, I'm more of a rose summer because I've got a lot of red in my skin tone. And she gave me a palette which is similar but darker hues of the summer colors for me to incorporate into what I wear, what I do my website in, what pictures I have portraying, that it's a non-conscious, energetic thing that people are attracted to you.
Just very cool.
Yeah, that's great. But when you're talking about the picture that you're going to use on your Facebook posts and start driving traffic to, you're going to want a color that stands out.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, on those for your posts that you're doing. I don't think that it applies to the post.
But
it's for your banner and your website or your videos that you're doing, the pictures with you personally in them, it would apply to that.
Yeah, because the colors are really important, and I could see how that would be really cool, because that's one of the biggest things is like, how do you decide what colors, what's going to be your color palette and your fonts and all that. So you do want to have colors that really reflect your energy and will attract the energy that you're of the ideal clients, your client persona. So that's really cool. So one thing that you really want to do though is you want to make sure that you standardize on those. So when you make a decision, you know, then really standardize on those. And we're going to do this across, you know, for your pictures, your colors, your message. You want to have this like unified, cohesive look across all of your assets.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Because then that becomes recognizable, you know, like then people get used to being like, oh, that's from TJ. Oh, I can see that's from Deb or Renee. Okay. And
that's your brand.
Right.
The other thing pardon?
I said that's you.
The other thing go ahead, honey. Sorry.
I'm just going to say that becomes your brand.
I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Yes, that becomes your brand. The other thing I just wanted to point out, and we're going to talk about this stuff further, but it's just like a pet peeve of mine that I just want to point out, is we all have the ability to crop and edit photos very simply on our phones. Very simply. You could just do that little thing, that little wand that enhances it, and cropping it. When you're thinking, like I'm going to take a picture of me in action, or say of a horse being pulsed, or say you're doing some type of talk, or you're doing, somebody's taking a picture of you doing the therapy on someone. Just really simple, guys. Just be aware of the lighting and the background and crop it. And whenever you can have a person looking up right at you, or a horse, or whatever you're doing, there's something about when a picture is looking directly at you. Pardon? What, John?
I said, or a cat.
or a cat, yeah. That gets people to look at it. So again, I know this is sounding like we're just like giving you all this stuff, but what I'm hoping is that by giving you these as you're out there now, you know, once you get an awareness, sometimes then, you know, you can't go back once you've had the awareness. So that I'm just trying to help you have an awareness when you're looking on websites, when you're looking on Facebook, when you're looking at billboards, when you're like, start noticing the marketing that you're like, wow, that's good. That's really clear. Wow, look at that picture. And oh my God, look at that dark, dreary picture. Or I can't even read that font. Be very aware of that when you're choosing what you're creating to put out there. It was really funny, John. I remember we were visiting Jack down in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina. Do you remember that? And we stopped. He wanted to go to some ridiculous deli or something. Do you remember? We were sitting outside because we had the dogs with us at this deli, and there was a car that was pulling up, and it had kind of a cool logo, but you could not read the writing. Do you remember that? And I kept saying to John, I can't wait till that guy gets close enough that I can read what he's actually doing. He actually is. And literally, he had to get like 5 feet away from me before I could read what he was doing. Do you remember that? Remember, he turned out to be like a land surveyor or something. Do you remember what I'm talking? I don't know. All I'm saying is just start getting your little marketing antenna up. And just start paying attention to what resonates with you, what catches your attention, what brings out emotion in you, what you think like, wow, that's slick, that's cool. So anyway, off my marketing soapbox.
Yeah, that is what your marketing really should be doing, is it should be bringing out an emotion. And when you're looking at your competitors and things, it really, like, what is the emotion that you're feeling? And then when you're creating your marketing, what is the emotion that you want to be triggering? You know, the Dreaming of a Career with Horses campaign, I believe the emotion that it got was hope. and that, hey,
Hope, yes.
I can go and do this. You know, I can get out of my cube and have a career with horses and be with horses. And that's one of the most powerful things. If you're in pain relief, hope is a very powerful thing. The hope that you can get out of pain, you know, that's a very powerful thing. So, you know, that is what you're looking for. You're looking for that magic moment that expresses your message. So, well, we're kind of running out of time, and I want to get to the kind of the boring part of it, but hey, the infrastructure is important. And TJ, I just want to say one thing about your feeling of like, yes, we're throwing a lot at you, but what you want to do, and this is the way that you prevent overwhelm. Number one, you stay in the present moment. And number two, you take things one step at a time, okay? Just one step at a time, all right? And we're trying to break these things down into bite-sized chunks. And so if you start getting overwhelmed, just wait a minute, what's my next step? And just go for that next step. And we have got this in a sequential order. So, Sherry?
So two things. Renee, did you have a question? Because your little blue hand is still up.
Oh, it is?
Or did we cover it? Oh,
No.
okay. No, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, it is. Your hand is up. Your blue hand is up. But anyway,
I lowered
the
your
other
hand.
thing I just wanted to share. Okay. The other thing that I just wanted to share about overwhelmment is I have ADHD, and I'm one of these people that when I wake up in the morning, and this is, okay, I used to be, because I am getting better and better at this, but everything comes at me at once. All the priorities are equal to me. I like priorities, you know, John, man, he's like, A, B, C, D, you know, and I'm like, A. And so this one day, I don't know, I was sitting there and I was listening, and I got this idea, overwhelmed. I'm over and over, I kept saying to myself, I am so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. And then I was like, wait a minute. Okay, what do I want? What do I want? I don't want to be overwhelmed. I literally went on my phone and looked up the antonym, the opposite of overwhelmed, and came up with these amazing words that were supported, guided, helped. And it was like I started a different dialogue with myself. If you would read it, and I don't have it in front of me now, but the list of antonyms was so beautiful and amazing that it literally took me out of feeling overwhelmed. And it made me start to think like, God, yes, I am support. I am divinely supported. What? Universe, okay, you know, I have clarity. I have clarity. I make decisions easily. Decisive was one of them. I can't even, I'm going to share, I'm like literally going to share it in a post what the antonyms were, because they were so mind-blowing, and I apologize that now in this moment I don't know why I can't think of them all, because I turn to them all the time. But anyway.
They were really good.
So I just wanted to share that as an antidote. Yeah, and I don't have my journal right here, or I would get it out, but it was a mind-blowing experiment for me. So whatever negative your emotion you're feeling, look up the opposite. It's pretty mind-blowing. Pretty mind-blowing. So okay, John, on to the boring part, and I'm just gonna mute myself.
It's not boring. All right, let's see. I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay, now this one we're gonna do. Well, hold on. Stop share. Stop that. I gotta set this up. Okay, so TJ, you have not set up your Google Docs in your Google Drive and your Google.
It's set up in Sheets I didn't get a chance to open Docs and convert it over to Docs, then Sheets. It's just in Sheets, not in Docs Sheets.
Well, Sheets are good. Sheets is the Google version of Excel. It's the spreadsheet.
Right.
That's the list that you want to keep it in. So just go through the tutorial on opening up your Google Drive. And what we really want to do is you want to start kind of with a clean slate so that your Google Gmail account is very clean, because as we automate it, you will have a lot less choices. It will be much easier to pick the right ones, okay? So we're trying to start with kind of a clean slate, but the next two videos are how to export your contacts from your phone. Do you guys all have iPhones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a lot of contacts on your iPhones?
Yes.
Yes. Have you ever backed it up? Do you back it up to iCloud or?
Yes. iCloud.
Yeah. For me, I've always had a really hard time with iCloud. Like if I change phones, I know that there's a way that you can, transfer your stuff from iCloud to your new phone. But I've never really been able to centrally manage my contacts that are in my phone and back them all up and then consolidate them all. So this app that I found, Export Contacts, just within a couple of clicks, you upload. It literally took me longer to sign on to my Apple store than it was to do the whole thing. So once I got onto my Apple store, I found Export. I bought it. It's $2. Best $2 I ever spent in my entire life, and it sent all my contacts to an Excel spreadsheet that I then saved into my Google Drive. Awesome. It was so easy. It was awesome. Okay. And then the other one is, do you guys have a lot of contacts in Outlook, or do you use Outlook at all?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a video for Outlook. We won't go through it now, but it's a step-by-step how to take your contacts from Outlook and put them into a spreadsheet, into an Excel spreadsheet. And then I have a tutorial on how to take your contacts from your other Gmail accounts. You guys have other Gmail accounts that could have contacts in them?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So I have a video on that. And then I also have a video on LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn account, you have a lot of LinkedIn people?
I have over 1,100.
That's great. The biggest thing, though, is that I did it a couple of months ago, and I got all the emails. I did it this time. I didn't get emails. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if they changed their policy or what. But anyway, I show you the process. Hopefully, you'll be able to get your emails off of that, because it is kind of like they really make it hard for you to do it. It's a very specific process that you have to go through. So anyway, I have those 4 sources of exporting the contacts onto an Excel spreadsheet. And then what we want to do is we're going to format those Excel spreadsheets and upload them into your Google Drive. Go ahead, TJ.
Did you give the name for the program that's cost $2 to export the contacts? I didn't hear it.
It's called Export Contacts.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Don't try to Google it, because you'll get everything else. But I've got the tutorial. It shows you exactly what it looks like and all that. So why don't we watch that right now, because that, I think, it really is something really powerful. If you have questions, that we can talk about that. Do you want to see that setting up the Google Drive and Sheets before we go? It's just a couple of, I think it's like 10 minutes to kind of give you the background, or should we just go right into the importing?
Do the import.
Go to the import. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. It's here with a video on how to export your contacts from your phone, from your iPhone, to an Excel spreadsheet on your Google Drive. Can you guys see all that?
Yeah.
It's so easy that I was amazed. I used this app called Export Contact, and it is here it is right there, Export Contact. Right on your, if you have an iPhone, you can just go right to your Apple Store and search for Export Contact, and you'll want to get the Export Contact as shown here on the screen. It was really easy. I did it, just no problems at all. So go to your Apple Apps Store, search on Export Contact. It looks just like this. You upload it. It actually took me longer to sign on to my Apple Store than it was in my Apple account than it was to actually back it up. You should also have, since we're ultimately wanting to do this to your Google Drive, you'll also want to have Google Drive installed on your phone as an app. If you do that and you have the Google Drive connected to your account on your phone, it really is extremely easy. And you're going to want to do this anyway. You're going to want to have your Google Drive on your phone as well. So this kind of kills two birds with one stone. So you launch the app. It says, would you like to access your contacts? Say yes. Then you'll want to have, you can either do a CSV or an Excel file. It doesn't matter either way which one you do. I did the CSV. Then you just tap on export and choose the file location. For me, I did the Google Drive and saved it right into my Google Drive. It doesn't matter where on your Google Drive you put it because you can always move it around once you get it there. But it also will save to Dropbox, or I think you can even email it to yourself and then save it into your computer or into Google Drive. So any one of those three, it will automatically just send you an Excel spreadsheet. So I'll just show you, it landed to my Google Drive as this contacts folder, and then here it is. So again, you got first name, last name, the company, mobile, work, and then way over here is the email. So what I'll do is I'll just end up deleting all these headers in there that I'm not using and condense this spreadsheet down to first name, last name, email, and phone number, and then I will upload it into my CRM spreadsheet. But there you go. This is a great solution for backing up your phone and getting your contacts off of your phone and onto your client relationship manager list. And it's Export Contacts, and find it at your Apple Store, and good luck with that. All right, now that we're going to do the, and this one is how to export Google Contacts to Excel. And this is good because it really shows you, also kind of behind the scenes on going to your contacts. Can you guys see that? Hi, this is John Golitz, and this is a video tutorial on how to export your Gmail contacts onto an Excel spreadsheet. So the first thing to do is go onto Google Chrome and then make sure you're on the right account. And if you have different accounts, you'll want to go up here and click on the account and go to the right one. I'm taking it from this account. So, and then you want to go on this little checkerboard Google Apps symbol and just click on this TJ, we were talking about my business.
Yeah.
Google My Business, and I emailed you a link to that you can access from your phone. But this is the icon for Google My Business.
I found it and put it on there.
Ah, okay, good. Did you set it up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I did. I got to go back and look. That was last week.
Yeah. Then they ask you for verification and stuff. But all you guys, you definitely should be putting Google My Business. What it is it puts an app. It's like the most amazing free thing Google offers. It gives you a free advertising on the top of your name. So if you're like, my name for my business, consulting business is John Golitz Consulting. If someone searches John Golitz Consulting, at the top of the Google search ranking automatically is your ad that you set up in Google Business. And it's huge. So it takes up like half the top of the page. And you can put in all your information in there, and we can link that to our welcome series email. And it's way better than doing SEO or AdWords or anything like that, because it's automatic to the name of your company right to the top of Google search. So that's one thing you absolutely guys should do. Anyways, it's right there, Google My Business, and you put it in there, and it's really easy to set up. So contacts symbol, and that will take you to the Google Contacts. Once you're in Google Contacts, the next step is to click down here, More. What we're looking for is the export label. So if it's not in there already, just click More and just go down to the export. Click on Export, and then choose either. This also works for import too. This is the same place that you go for import. So if we're going to be taking your list and importing them into your new Google account, this is where you do it. You just go to the import. He'll ask you where the list is. You click import. Off you go. The selected contacts that you want, and you can choose different lists or labels that you have. Or this, I'm going to just select all of them. And then export as, here's the different files. This is the Google CSV file that will easily convert into an Excel CSV spreadsheet. Click this button if you want to import it into an Outlook file. And then this is a file that is good for importing into your phones. We're going to do to an Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to click this button, click export, and here it goes. All of a sudden it goes down into here. It's downloading, and ta-da! And we'll open it up. There. Here is the Excel spreadsheet. You'll notice there's a whole bunch of different headings that are along here. What I like to do is just delete all the ones that I don't use and keep the ones that I do, which would be the name. Now you'll notice there's first and last name in this category. Change this to first name, no spaces, and delete this column, and we'll put last name here, no spaces. And don't worry if these are not filled in, that there's just the first and last name in the name category, because we have a little spreadsheet magic that's going to separate them out. And then all of these, I'm not keeping birthdays, but all of these will delete. And we'll delete all of these, but we will not delete the email. So here is the email one, is the main one that we're looking for. These other columns we will delete. So we're keeping email one. There really isn't anything else in the other emails. Delete those. Here is phone 1. We'll get rid of the value. Keep that. And we'll just organize them, make them all along one side. Kind of neaten things up. And then if you want to keep the addresses, keep all those. And really you can keep these columns if you like. I'm just trying to neaten things up and get rid of the fields that we don't use. So, and then we'll be able to export this into our main CRM spreadsheet on the Google Sheets. So here's one thing that has been automatically filled in that's really nice is the website, their contacts website. You definitely want to keep that. Just trying to clean up the fields that you don't need, keep the ones that you do need and you want to have in your master spreadsheet. And then you would go and file and then save this to a file so you can upload it into Google Sheets. And we'll show you how to do that in another tutorial. So that's it for how to export your contacts from Gmail into an Excel spreadsheet. Thanks a lot for watching.
All right, so the important thing in setting all this up is that you maintain the same header labels going across your master spreadsheet. So, you know, the key thing, you may have some spreadsheets down the road that have other fields in them, but you want to make sure that you maintain the same initial fields going forward. And you'll notice, so we had the first one is name, and that has both first and last name in there because that's going to have, some sources have them all lumped in together. And then you have first name as the next one, last name as the next one, email, and then phone number. From there on, it doesn't really matter what you do. You can have whatever fields that you want to have in there, but just try to keep it conformed to have the same as you go across your spreadsheets. So it's formatted the same, the columns are in the same order and the same heading name. That's just going to help you so much down the road. And you'll notice that that we had first name with no spaces in there and then last name with no spaces in there. That's how it needs to be formatted for the GMAS program. So so just might as well start out that way. And then like I said, I do have when you get it, some really cool things about the Google Sheets that makes it so much easier and that I really love so much. That, like, for example, there's an add-on. So Google Sheets and the Google products have these things called add-ons. Most of the time they're free. You just click on these add-on up there, and there's these little programs that people have created that help automate tasks that drive you crazy. For me, you know, the thought of having to go through and separate out the first and the last name into those separate categories is like drive me crazy. But there's an add-on that actually does it for you. And we have in the GMAS, there is a pre-programmed formula. So all you do is just plug it in and it will automatically separate out that first and last names. There's also an add-on that will eliminate the duplicates. So you're not going to need to worry about splitting the names and then getting rid of the duplicates. So you know, what you really want to be doing right now is creating your master file and loading everything up so that all your contacts are in a central location
and then keeping track of the source of those files, and then we'll go through them all and segregate them. Sounding good?
Sounds good.
And then the added step, there's really two added super bonuses, is that once you get that in there, then you can then really have a standardized contact list in your phone, in your emails, and in your computer. And so you really are dealing with, you know, a unified list rather than all these separate lists, all, you know, different information. And there's the backup and sync program that will back everything up into your Google Drive. So your Google Drive will then, you'll go on to, it's called My Drive. That's the main drive. And then you just have a side list that will have access to your files on your computer and files on your laptop. And that's makes life so much easier and so much more secure. And they automatically will back each other up. So you're never at risk of losing all your data. Because this list is going to be really your most valuable, your business's most valuable asset. Once you get your list and start developing a relationship with your list, this is the backbone of your business. So you want to make sure it's secure and organized.
Yes, thank you.
So this
All right.
it automatically backs up. You're saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
All the Google Docs automatically back up all the time. You don't have to save them. You don't have to do anything. You know, yeah, they automatically back up all the time. And if you have backup sync, when we install backup and sync, it automatically backs up your computer and your laptop when that's on.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, so everything will always be in. So if your laptop crashes, all you have to do, or let's say you're on the road and you didn't bring your laptop, and you're at a hotel that you can have access to some internet. You can have access to all your files on your computer.
Yeah.
And on your phone.
That's cool.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Where do we find the backup and sync? On Google, in an app?
It's on Google, but let's get things organized first.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll take you through that. Because if you start doing it too much, it's going to get too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's me, ADD.
Me too.
We're trying to take it one step at a time.
Thank you.
So this has been this is really a lot of information this week. Don't let it overwhelm you. Just take a little at a time and work methodically through it. I'll be really, really excited to hear next week what you guys think.
It's exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, the fun part's going to be looking at all of the start noticing a lot of advertising.
But let me ask you, has any of this, have you ever done anything like this before? Has anybody ever taken you through this stuff before?
No.
This is unique.
And it's funny because I've been doing this for like years. To me, this is what you do, like you get into a new market and I just instinctively go and look at all my competition and what are they doing? Oh, this is really working for them. I'm going to do that too. And, nowadays there's what, 4 gazillion people on Facebook, there's so many websites. Just you go and take what is working and you have if you had 100 people all doing the same thing, nobody would even know.
I never looked at it from a marketing standpoint online. I mean, I did it when I was building houses, it was a physical go around and look and see what everybody's doing instead of doing it via online and stuff. But
yeah, same.
But some of the most successful builders, I will say, there is one builder that built in a subdivision that we were doing, and his pricing was so specific. He had it down almost to the dime because he had it all automated. He plugged the information in, it spit everything out, materials and pricing, and boom, and that was it. And he said it was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Automated.
Systemized.
Yeah, it saved him tons of time and energy.
Yes. Create a system once,
yep.
And then then it works when you're not. Yes, this is what we're doing. We're building you guys a marketing system that will continue to work even when you're not. And that is the absolute key. That is a business. This is a business asset that you will do. That will continue to feed you. So
awesome.
So I'm glad you guys are going through it, and just let me know if you guys have questions or whatever. Shoot me an email.
Plus, we have the videos to go back and look at too.
Yeah, all these things, all this stuff, they're all on separate videos. So go back and go through each video. The BuzzSumo is on a separate video. Similar Web. Each one of these steps are on their own videos, all in the portal.
Okay, super.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure. There was another thought that I had that escaped me. Well, oh, and make sure you do Google Business. So then next week, this will be quite an eye-opening thing, and you're going to get lots and lots of information, but really try to sift it all through and stuff, and keep looking for, keep thinking about the 80-20 rule, that that there's 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of your stuff. So just keep looking for that 80-20 rules. You really want to boil everything down to like your top 3. So you're going to get this big long list of stuff, but I know what the thought was, is that you're going to find things that are going to keep repeating. Okay, you're going to see these themes that keep repeating. Those are the good things. But then what we're going to ultimately get to, this is the difference between good and great. Okay, you're going to find things that are going to keep repeating and that are doing great. And the difference between copying and innovating, you're going to get to a point. It may not happen right away, but you're going to get to the point where you're going to see, hey, these 3 things are really, really working for me. And I now know how to say them in my own little way that's a little bit different than everybody else, but it's totally me.
Mm-hmm.
When you get there,
right, yeah.
Gold mine. Gold mine. So you copy everybody to the point where you get the basics down, and then you find that little bit of extra uniqueness. Mm-hmm. That is you. That's your voice. That's your unique benefits. That's what we're really looking for. And sometimes it takes a while. It's like I've heard it say it's kind of like creating a hit song. You got to let it percolate a little bit, and you got to assimilate all the information and let it sift its way all the way through. And then when you're really in the moment and you kind of give it a little break, and like Sherry thought of Life Pulse in the shower, and just like all of a sudden it'll be like, oh. So when that strike of inspiration comes, make sure you capture it within 5 seconds. Within 5 seconds, you have to act on it within 5 seconds, or you could lose.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to share that Mel Robbins thing
Your
in
5,
our
4, 3,
group.
2, 1.
I
Yeah.
need to share that.
Yeah.
The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just really quickly, I found, I don't know if I don't think this will show, but okay. See that?
No.
See those columns of words? Can you see it or no?
Yeah.
No.
Columns, but you
All
can't
those
read all.
columns.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are all the antonyms for being overwhelmed. And so I just wanted to share this because
That's a little overwhelming.
Was
overwhelmed list of
No, that's good.
But
it's good.
Here is the amazing thing. The most amazing thing of this list to me was how comforting it was. I couldn't even believe it. First of all, I looked up the definition of overwhelmed, and it means to overpower, to overload a person or thing with large amounts of anything. Okay, so John's little bit of advice about little baby steps, right? But so the first word that came up as the antonym for overwhelmed was comforted. Comforted. So I'm just going to read you a couple of these to leave us something. Okay, these antonyms of overwhelmed: comforted, successful, triumphant, joyful, unbeatable, encouraged, gleeful, dainty. I didn't get dainty, but anyway. Exultant, overjoyed, protected, oh, my favorite, inspirited, surrendered. That was the opposite of overwhelmed, being surrendered. Calm, collected, happy, and my all-time favorite, sane. Sane. Enlightened.
We're
assisted.
over our time here.
Okay. I know, but isn't that amazing? Like, I'm just, do the exercise. It's amazing.
Oh,
Look at all those. It's amazing.
You go from negative words to all positive words that invoke good feelings.
They're all positive words.
Yep.
So I just said, all these years feeling overwhelmed, stop, sit still, ask for help from above, and pick a new word. Pick a new word.
There you go.
Sane. Encouraged, supported, inspirited, clarified. Dainty. What was with dainty? Oh, there was another one on here. Just a minute. Okay, we're over time. But I was like, what the heck is it? Oh, honest to God, it says sniffy.
Sniffy?
Sniffy.
You get sniffy when you're overwhelmed.
Let's all be sniffy. Let's all be okay.
When you get overwhelmed,
I love you all.
As opposed to Snuffy. Snuffy Smith.
I'm tired. I think it's cookie time.
John's ready to go to bed. It's getting loud.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for being with us, and good luck with this.
How's Jasper, by the way?
All right.
Oh, Jasper is home with Oliver, and he's fantastic. He's walking. It is a miracle. PEMF is a miracle. A miracle. A miracle. So, yeah.
Ending meeting.
Which, by the way, TJ, you are not in our private group.
Oh, right.
You need to get in our private group.
For
Facebook.
For the marketing? I thought I was for the marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back.
Nope, you're not in our group.
Okay, I'll go back and try to join. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
The name.
Drugless Practitioner Community Private Group. So just sending you that.
Drugless Practitioner Private Group. Drugless.
I think I messaged you and invited you, but it's Drugless Practitioner Community Private Group. So anyway, yes, Jasper, missing him. I'm missing him. He's home. He's fine. Oh.
Good.
So, yep.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a great evening.
Thanks a lot. See you later.
Bye, Renee. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Terry.
Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Remember, be sniffy.
No, I don't want to be snippy.